The Senate will come to order. I ask everyone present to please rise and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In the absence of clergy, let us bow our heads in a moment of silent reflection or prayer. Reading of the Journal.
In Senate, Tuesday, February 7, 2023, the Senate met pursuant to adjournment. The Journal of Monday, February 6, 2023 was read and approved. On motion, the Senate adjourned.
Without objection, the Journal stands approved as read. Presentation of petitions. Messages from the Assembly. The Secretary will read.
Senator Gianaris moves to discharge from the Committee on Rules. Assembly Bill number 981, substituted for the identical Senate Bill 846, third reading count of 55. Senator Sanders moves to discharge from the Committee on Rules. Assembly Bill number 618, substituted for the identical Senate Bill 854, third reading count of 63. Senator Thomas moves to discharge from the Committee on Rules. Assembly Bill number 1009, substituted for the identical Senate Bill 1329, third reading count of 97. Senator May moves to discharge from the Committee on Rules. Assembly Bill number 983 is substituted for the identical Senate Bill 1332, third reading count of 100. Senator Brooke moves to discharge from the Committee on Rules. Assembly Bill number 619 is substituted for the identical Senate Bill 1340, third reading count of 108.
So ordered. Messages from the Governor. Reports of standing committees. Reports of select committees. Communications and reports from state officers. Motions and resolutions. Senator Gianaris.
Mr. President, can we start by taking up previously adopted Resolution 308 by Senator Gurnardis? Read its title only and recognize Senator Gurnardis.
Secretary will read.
Senate Resolution 308 by Senator Gurnardis, memorializing Governor Kathy Hochul to proclaim February 8, 2023 as Students with Disability Advocacy Day in the state of New York.
Senator Gurnardis on the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise, as I have for 5 years now in this chamber, in support of the resolution to declare February 8th as Students with Disabilities Advocacy Day. We know that, even though the pandemic is a few years behind us, how impactful it was to students all across the state. And we also know a core value that I think we all believe in sharing is that every single student in our state deserves to be taught to the best of their ability with no shortage of services or resources. But unfortunately, the reality is for far too many of our students, there are barriers in the way of achieving that vision and that goal. We have to remove these barriers to key reasonable accommodations and support services that promote access and success for students with disabilities, especially in higher education. Nearly 80,000 students in our state have disabilities and attend New York State degree-granting colleges and universities. Our state university system alone serves more than 40% of this population. It is imperative that institutions of higher education are provided with the necessary resources to empower students with disabilities and help them achieve academically and beyond. Institutions of higher ed should not have to rely on the federal government or nonprofit partners alone to make a difference and invest in necessary resources such as improving current support systems, summer college prep programs for students with disabilities, providing needing staff trainings on working with students with disabilities, and improving our understanding of how many students with disabilities actually are on our campuses and what their needs truly are so that our state can better serve them. I'm proud of the work that this body has done through our budget process every year to allocate funding to help support this very important population of students in our institutions of higher education. And I hope that as we declare tomorrow to be Students with Disabilities Day, Advocacy Day, that we continue our advocacy in this year's budget process as well. And I vote aye. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Gurnardis. Senator Stavisky on the resolution.
Yes, thank you. First, thank you, Senator Gurnardis and Mr. President. I'd like to welcome our friends from not the disability, but from the ability community. Every year we get together, every summer at Queens College, and it's really one of the highlights of the summer because there are so many friends there, and I look forward to joining you next summer. But in the meantime, welcome to Albany. You are great, great representatives and lobbyists for a really important cause. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Stavisky. Senator Martins on the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, I want to thank the sponsor for this resolution and the opportunity to speak to this very important issue. As many of you may know, we have 4201 schools in this state. Mr. President, 2 of those schools happen to be in my district. One in particular, the Henry Viscardi School, that services children who are severely physically disabled, relies on funding from New York State as part of its operations, the ability to have aides in the classroom in order to provide services and proper care for those who are most vulnerable. Well, in this year's budget that was proposed, and I bring it to everyone's attention, as we were now faced with what I think is a great opportunity to help funding for education generally, an increase of $3.1 billion in the budget, these 4201 schools lost $2 million in this budget. That is, those schools that service the most vulnerable, those who are most severely impacted, and those that are most challenged by being in a teaching environment, and those who we should be supporting unequivocally, in this budget lost $2 million at a time when we increased education spending by $3.1 billion. So, Mr. President, I would remind the Chamber and our colleagues that as we go forward through this process, let's remember the 4201 schools. Let's make sure they have the resources necessary so that they can complete their high school education and then, yes, go on to college. And let's make sure that as we move forward and we lift all boats, we don't forget those that are certainly most vulnerable. So I want to thank the sponsor again for having this resolution, Mr. President, and I vote aye.
Thank you, Senator Martins. This resolution was previously adopted on January 31st. Senator Gianaris.
Mr. President, before we move on to the next resolution, can we first recognize Senator May for an introduction?
Senator May for an introduction.
Thank you, Mr. President. I also want to thank the sponsor of this resolution, and I have some guests here with me today. I have spoken on the floor in the past about Syracuse University as a global pioneer in inclusive education, starting at pre-K through 12. But Syracuse University also has an absolutely extraordinary program called Inclusive U, which brings together students of all ages with intellectual and developmental disabilities who want to experience college life in a fully inclusive setting. They come to Syracuse University, they live on campus, they take Syracuse University classes, they graduate from Syracuse University, and it is an absolutely incredible program with over 100 students currently attending. These students participate in every aspect of campus life, taking SU coursework, attending sporting and social events, completing internships. They live in dorms with their peers. At the conclusion of their studies, they receive an SU certificate of completion and participation at the graduation ceremony of their Syracuse University peers. Inclusive U continues to be a model for other schools and colleges across the country on how to increase college access for all. And I am so happy they have made the journey here today for this experience of seeing the Capitol and gaining an appreciation for the work we do here. With our visitors today, the students today are some incredibly amazing people who coordinate, guide, and accompany the students. They include Carly Grafasi, Assistant Director of Operations and Communications, and Sam Rue and Beth Myers from the Tyshoff Center for Disability and Inclusion. And the students who are here with us now are Maya Chamberlain, Shafrea Wilkins, Mackenzie Gleason, Chase Coleman, Jacob Stives, and Michael McGrath. So I hope that we can recognize these students and offer them the courtesies of the House. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator May. To our guests, I welcome you on behalf of the Senate. We extend to you the privileges and courtesies of this House. Please rise and be recognized. Senator Gianaris.
Now can we move on to previously adopted Resolution 170 by Senator Tedisco? Read its title and recognize Senator Tedisco.
The Secretary will read.
Senate Resolution 170 by Senator Tedisco, congratulating the Saratoga Springs High School girls varsity cross-country team and head coach Art Kranick upon the occasion of capturing the Nike Cross National Championship on Saturday, December 3rd, 2022.
Senator Tedisco on the resolution.
Thank you so much, Mr. President and my colleagues. I'm proud and honored to present to you. I can't quite see them through those bars, but I can assure you that they're here and they're for real. And the people who know that the most are their opponents, not only this year, but over the years. This is a fantastic group of students and girls from a great high school, Saratoga Springs High School. They are indeed the girls' varsity national cross-country champions. They're not only champions for 1 year, they've been designated champions for the last 2 years nationally. And actually, because of the pandemic, we could call them 4-year champions. They were number one each and every of the 2 years that the pandemic was at the height of its existence. So they could be a four-peat right now. They are known as the Blue Streaks. They like to call themselves, and the coach does, the Kinetics. But I call them the Perennials, because year in and year out at this outstanding high school, they achieve unbelievable success in championship outcomes. It's because of their hard work, it's because of their designation and their dedication to a work ethic, the team approach they've taken together, but also I think it's a great deal of support from the school itself, their parents, their peers, and an outstanding group of coaches led by, as has been mentioned, head coach Art Kranick, assistant coaches Linda Kranick and Dan Van Cott. And just let me read to you in reverse order. They've ended up at a national championship, but you don't get there by going and running the table. The Saratoga Springs girls varsity cross-country team captured the second consecutive Nike cross-country national championship at Glen de Vere Golf Course in Portland, Oregon on Saturday, December 3rd, 2022, with an overall team score of 81 points. The Blue Streaks also captured, this is before that, the New York State Federation Championship in Wappingers Falls on November 19th, preceded by the New York State Class A Championship on November 12th, a sectional championship on November 5th, and the Suburban Council Title Championship on October 29th. One championship after another. I think they have 2 senior runners on the team, and the rest are underclassmen. So I think Perennial's a good designation for them because they're going to be back, I think, year after year. In fact, I think I'm going to go after today we finish session, go designate a date for when we can bring them back to be on the other side maybe so I can see them when I make this presentation to them because I'm pretty sure they will be coming back and we'll be honoring them again. I want to let you know who these individuals are along with the coaches. They're Sheridan Wheeler, they're Emily Bush, they're Alicia Hart, they're Heidi Berglund, they're Natalie Wilding, they're Anya Belissel, and they're McKinley Wheeler. And as I said, the Kranicks and Dan Van Cott are the outstanding coaches who historically have done a tremendous job. And in fact, they're good athletes in and of themselves because a couple years ago, I ran a few races out in Saratoga Springs in the city, and I ran along with them. Of course, I think I was looking at their back when I ran, but they not only are outstanding athletes themselves in their own rights, but tremendous teachers in a whole variety of ways, and I'm sure their students appreciate and their athletes appreciate the efforts they've put forth. So, Mr. President, I would ask that you would welcome them and thank them and congratulate them and salute them and offer them all the cordialities and show them how much we appreciate the wonderful academic excellence they provide, but also the athletic extracurricular efforts they put forth. Congratulations to them and an outstanding school.
Thank you, Senator Tedisco. To our guests, I welcome you on behalf of the Senate. We extend to you the privileges and courtesies of this House. Please rise and be recognized. Senator Gianaris.
At the request of the sponsors, the two resolutions we took up today are open for co-sponsorship.
And before we proceed, the resolution was previously adopted on January 10th. I apologize, Senator Gianaris.
Let's take up the reading of the calendar.
The Secretary will read.
Calendar number 27, Senate Print 818 by Senator Myrie, an act to amend a chapter of the law 2022.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, Gianaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart Cousins, White.
Announce the result.
In relation to calendar 27, those senators voted in the negative are Senators Ashby, Borrello, Canzoneri Fitzpatrick, Gallivan, Griffo, Helming, Lanza, Martins, Matera, Oberecker, O'Mara, Ort, Palumbo, Rhodes, Rollison, Steck, Tedisco, Walzick, Weber, and White. Ayes 40, nays 20.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 32, Senate Print 823 by Senator Mannion, an act to amend the mental hygiene law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect on the same date and in the same manner as the chapter of the law 2022.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, Gianaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart Cousins, White.
Senator Mannion to explain his vote.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wasn't going to speak to this, but it's certainly important legislation on a day when Inclusive U from Syracuse University is here, and I get to see the great things that they do, and on a day when Senator Gonardis continues his strong advocacy for individuals with disabilities in the education setting, and as Senator Martin stood up and mentioned those 4201 schools as well as the 4410 and the 853 schools. They need parity. They need to be treated like what we would call traditional public schools. And with that, in the overall world of people with disabilities, this is a way to make sure that individuals, advocates, and family members get the answers in a timely manner so they can adjust. I proudly vote aye. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Mannion to be recorded in the affirmative. Announce the results.
Ayes 60.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 43, Senate Print 834 by Senator Kavanaugh, an act to amend the environmental conservation law.
Read the last section.
Section 10, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, Gianaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
In relation to calendar 43, those senators voted in the negative are Senators Borrello, Griffo, Lanza, Oberecker, Rhodes, and Steck. Ayes 54, nays 6.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 55, Assembly number 981 by Assemblymember Rosenthal, an act to amend the general business law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, Gianaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 60.
The bill is passed.
Sorry. Excuse me. In relation to calendar 55, voted in the negative Senator O'Mara. Ayes 59, nays 1.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 63, Assembly number 618 by Assemblymember Barrett, an act to amend the executive law.
Read the last section.
Section 4, this act shall take effect on the same date and in the same manner as the chapter of the law 2022.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, Gianaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 60.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 64, Senate Print 855 by Senator May, an act to amend the public health law.
Read the last section.
Section 3, this act shall take effect on the same date and in the same manner as the chapter of the law 2022.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, Gianaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 60.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 66, Senate Print 857 by Senator Matera, an act to amend the Environmental Conservation Law.
Read the last section.
Section 3, this act shall take effect on the same date and in the same manner as the chapter of the laws 2022.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Gianaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 60.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 94, Senate Print 1326 by Senator Ramos, an act to amend the labor law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect on the same date and in the same manner as the chapter of the laws 2022.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Gianaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Excuse me. In relation to calendar 94, those senators voted in the negative are Senators Ashby, Borrello, Gallivan, Griffo, Helming, Lanza, O'Mara, Ort, Palumbo, Rhodes, Steck, Walzig, and Senator White. Ayes 49, nays 13.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 97, Assembly number 1009 by Assemblymember Paulin, an act to amend the general business law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect on the same date and in the same manner as the chapter of the laws 2022.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Gianaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
In relation to calendar 97, voted in the negative, Senator Gallivan. Ayes 61, nays 1.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 100, Assembly number 983 by Assemblymember Magnarelli, an act to amend the Real Property Action and Proceedings Law.
Lay it aside.
Calendar number 108, Assembly number 619 by Assemblymember Reyes, an act to amend the Environmental Conservation Law.
Read the last section.
Section 3, this act take effect on the same date and in the same manner as the chapter of the law 2022.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Gianaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 62.
The bill has passed.
Calendar number 114, Senate Print 1346 by Senator Parker, an act to amend the State Finance Law.
Read the last section.
Section 3, this act shall take effect on the same date and in the same manner as the chapter of the law 2022.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Gianaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart Cousins, White.
Senator Rose to explain his vote.
Thank you, Mr. President. I noticed today that we are actually giving the state a little bit of leeway. You know, while we certainly understand the need for and the desire to have zero-emission vehicles, and the state has taken the position that it wants to take the lead in that, we've recognized that it is unachievable and unattainable in the time frame that we set forth in the legislation, which is the purpose of this bill. But at the same time as we're giving the state more time, we are poised as a state to enact unrealistic, unachievable, and quite frankly, dangerous limits on the ability for residents of our state and builders in our state to be able to use natural gas. We've set limits by the end of 2025 for small buildings, larger buildings by 2027, new construction being completely eliminated by 2030, the use of fossil fuels, and by 2035, telling our own homeowners that use natural gas for cooking, that use natural gas for heat, that they're not going to be able to do that, that they will wind up having to convert their homes at a tremendous expense to them. So while at the same time we're giving ourselves leeway, let's keep in mind as we debate these issues that we need to give our residents leeway in being able to address some of the onerous burdens that this body continues to place on them in the pursuit of environmental conservation. So I will be voting in the negative on this bill as a protest to what we plan on doing to our homeowners and trying to give ourselves the rights that we're not affording to them.
Senator Rhodes to be recorded in the negative. Announce the results.
In relation to calendar 114, those senators voted in the negative are Senators Borrello, Canzoneri Fitzpatrick, Gallivan, Griffo, Helming, Lanza, Oberacker, O'Mara, Ort, Rhodes, Steck, and Weber. Ayes 50, nays 12.
The bill is passed. Senator Gianaris, that completes the reading of today's calendar.
Let's now take up the controversial calendar, please.
The Secretary will ring the bell. The Secretary will read.
Calendar number 100, Assembly number 983 by Assemblymember Magnarelli, enactment of Real Property Actions and Proceedings Law.
Senator Borrello on the bill. Or why do you rise?
Thank you, Mr. President. Would the sponsor yield for a question?
Did the sponsor yield?
I will.
Sponsor yields.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. President. This bill is actually, this is an amendment to a previous bill that deals with, tenants' rights. But that previous bill didn't carve out New York City. So this bill will carve out the 5 boroughs of New York City from that original bill, which passed last year. So why? Why are we all of a sudden now changing it to exclude the 5 boroughs?
Through you, Mr. President, New York City effectively has this in place already, and so it made sense to pull it out of this bill because we really are trying to change the practice elsewhere in the state.
Will the sponsor continue to yield?
Sponsor yield.
I will.
Sponsor yields.
So this separate process they have in New York City, was it not in place last year when we passed the bill?
President, it was.
Mr. President, sponsor continues to will the sponsor continue to yield?
Will the sponsor yield? Sponsor yields.
So last year, this process already existed. This year, nothing's changed. Why the change of heart on excluding New York City? I mean, you're talking about millions of tenants in New York City. That this bill is very different, by the way, than the protections they get from the housing court in New York City. So why the change of heart? Why are we doing this now?
Through you, Mr. President, it actually is the case that these are very similar protections to what already exist in New York City. And New York City has the personnel and the resources in place to help tenants access those remedies that we are now creating for upstate. And so there is more than just the this remedy. There need to be forms and ways for tenants to access them, and so we're creating that for upstate.
Sponsor yield.
Yes.
Sponsor yields.
So are you saying that there were some major changes to the resources available in New York City to tenants from last year to this year, and that's why you're now excluding New York City?
Mr. President, no, I'm not saying that.
Mr. President, will sponsor continue to yield?
Will the sponsor yield?
I will.
Sponsor yields.
So again, we're talking about excluding a city of 8.5 million people, millions of tenants. I still haven't gotten an answer. Why the change of heart from that last year to this year?
So this is not a change of heart. I am glad that my colleague wants all tenants throughout the state to have the ability to challenge landlords who are not doing their job to keep them safe and create safe housing conditions. This was in negotiation with the executive and the assembly. We concluded that it was duplicative to include that in this bill. So it's not a change of heart, it's just recognizing the conditions on the ground.
Will sponsor continue to yield?
Sponsor yield.
I will.
Sponsor yields.
Through you, Mr. President. So I guess what I'm hearing is that nothing's changed from last year, but you had some discussions with the governor, and the governor decided that we need to now, the same governor as last time, same, pretty much same situation, but we're going to exclude New York City all of a sudden now. With that in place, my question is, this is a very different from what they do in New York City, because this bill would allow essentially the court to, if I'm reading this correctly, a broad definition of additional damages that could basically be awarded by the court. Special proceedings by tenants for judgments directing repairs of condition and other relief pursuant to the underlying court. So in other words, you're going to sue because you never fixed my hot water tank. But the judge has the discretion to give additional compensation beyond just the remedy for that hot water tank, for example. Is that correct? Judge has discretion. Interesting concept.
Mr. President, so in New York City, the courts can impose a fine. They can order the landlord to fix the problem. They can hold the landlord in contempt. This is giving judges similar abilities upstate for tenants who are having the same kinds of truly dangerous or difficult, unlivable conditions that a landlord is not fixing.
Will sponsor continue to yield?
Sponsor yield.
I will.
Sponsor yields.
So that additional relief, is there any definition, any limits, any guardrails within this legislation for that additional relief that can be afforded to tenants?
The underlying bill had very specific kinds of relief. In negotiation, we decided that it was sufficient to say that the court could determine what was just in this case.
Will sponsor continue to yield?
Sponsor yield.
I will.
Sponsor yields.
Thank you. So in its discretion, could a court deem reasonable the attorney's fees? Could that be just? The attorney's fees for the tenant?
As I said, what the court deems just. Yes.
Mr. President, will sponsor continue to yield?
Sponsor yield.
Yes.
Sponsor yield.
So in that hot water tank example I gave, could then the court determine that, say, $50,000 of additional compensation would be considered just?
President, so with this chapter amendment, there is no provision for monetary damages. The court will order the landlord to fix the problem. If the landlord doesn't do that, then the court can actually order additional remedies.
Sponsor continue to yield?
Sponsor yield.
Yes.
Sponsor yields.
Is there a specific part of the bill which excludes monetary damages that you could point to?
So the version I have has what was crossed out in by the chapter amendment. Previously it said a monetary judgment in favor of the petitioner for the diminished value of the real property. That was there. That has been excised now from the chapter amendment.
Sponsor continue to yield?
Sponsor yield.
Well,
Sponsor yields.
Well, right below that, though, it does retain that language, it says, if I'm getting this correct. So you crossed it out up here, but you redefined it, or it was already defined in the lines just below that, that you could actually still get monetary damages. At least that's the interpretation of our counsel.
So we have explicitly struck the provision for monetary judgment and replaced it with any other relief that the court may deem just.
Will sponsor continue to yield?
Sponsor yield.
I will.
Sponsor yields.
So you're saying, just for clarification, that monetary damages are excluded?
Through you, Mr. President, saying that it is not explicit in the bill, but the court could deem something just if a landlord was refusing to make the repairs.
Okay. Mr. President, will sponsor continue to yield?
I will.
So you're saying that they then could find monetary damages to be just, then, if they found it to be egregious, for example?
Mr. President, they certainly could fine, or could hold the landlord in contempt, and there could be fines associated with that.
Mr. President, on the bill.
Senator Borrello on the bill.
Senator May, thank you very much for your time today. You know, this is an interesting situation. We are carving out New York City, millions of people, no changes to the conditions from last year. Same governor, same conditions. This just seems blatantly political. I mean, let's face it. We had 3 years of just bringing private property owners to their knees in New York State. Day after day, extension after extension. We told them, we've got relief coming for you. We've got millions of dollars. I stood on this floor and I asked the question, will there be enough to fulfill all the unpaid rent in New York State? And the answer was yes. We had some university study and we're going to have enough money. 3 weeks later, boom. No. The governor had to go on her bended knee to the President of the United States and get money, more money, which she didn't actually get. So now we want to maybe give a little relief to these property owners by excluding the ones in New York City from having to be bound by this. Nothing else changed except for the politics. We want to make sure certain people continue to write certain checks to certain candidates. That's what this bill is about. Sadly, I don't know how many private property owners are going to continue to be in this business. I had so many people in my district contact me. They drained their savings so they could keep paying the bills that kept coming. The tenants that didn't pay their bills, even though they didn't lose their jobs, even though they had thousands and thousands of dollars dumped on them by the federal government, didn't pay their rent, and nobody challenged them on it. Nobody. So now we're going to tell property owners in New York City, hey, we're on your side. We're on your team. No, you're not. We're going to make this state into a third world nation where the privileged few have their own private property and the rest of us will be subject to some kind of government-controlled living conditions. That's not the state that I want to live in, and I'm voting no. Thank you.
Are there any other senators wishing to be heard? Seeing and hearing none, debate is closed. Senator Gianaris.
Mr. President, we've agreed with the minority to restore this to the non-controversial calendar. Can we please take it up that way?
Will be restored to the non-controversial calendar. Read the last section.
Section 2, this act take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, Gianaris, Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Senator May to explain her vote.
Thank you, Mr. President. Last year, I was very proud to pass the Tenant Dignity and Safe Housing Act through this body, and I am proud now to have it finally in its final amended form to be signed into law. Landlords in this state have a legal obligation to provide safe housing. They can't leave deadly mold or holes in the roof or the various things that I see when I go door to door in my district, some of the conditions that tenants in my district are living with. One thing this bill critically does is makes it easier for tenants to seek remedies for that, for those problems. Creates a simple process, plain language for them to access court judgment to make their homes safe. This is, as I said, a legal obligation of the landlords to provide this, but it has been very hard for tenants who don't have their own lawyers, who don't have a lot of resources to actually get the remedies that they need. So I remain very proud of this bill. I am grateful to my colleagues for supporting it and to the governor for supporting it as well, and we'll look forward to this being the law of the state. Thank you.
Senator May to be recorded in the affirmative. Announce the results.
In relation to calendar 100, those senators voted in the negative are Senators Ashby, Borrello, Canzoneri Fitzpatrick, Gallivan, Griffo, Helming, Lanza, Matera, Oberacker, O'Mara, Ort, Palumbo, Rhodes, Steck, Tedisco, Walzig, Weber, and White. Ayes 44, nays 18.
The bill is passed. Senator Gianaris, that completes the reading of today's calendar.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let me remind my majority colleagues that there will be a conference immediately following the adjournment of session. And with that, is there any further business at the desk?
There will be majority conference session at the completion. There's no further business at the desk.
I move to adjourn until Monday, February 13th at 3 p.m., intervening days being legislative days.
On motion, the Senate stands adjourned until Monday, February 13th at 3 p.m., with intervening days being legislative days.